Welcome to the Happy, Healthy Life Podcast with your hosts, Rob and Randy, who reveal the truth, the lies, and confusion about health so that you are no longer the victim to mainstream medical dogma and you are the hero to your own happy, healthy story.
Welcome to the Happy, Healthy Life Podcast with Rob and...
Welcome. It's Randy. Good to be back.
So we are on episode number 3 right now, fresh off of the July 4th weekend. Happy, healthy July the 4th.
Happy, healthy days to all of you. I hope it was a relaxing, fun time and a time to reflect on, okay, we're at the halfway point of the year. And what is your plan? What is your strategy? What are you doing to get yourself ready to have an incredible finish to this 2022 season? And I got to tell you, health, I know for a lot of you listening, because you follow this podcast, is probably one of your top priorities, and it should be. So we're going to talk specifically today about how to make sure that the next 6 months are going to be some of the healthiest, happiest days of your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it really goes back to what we talked about last time, and it's living your life, especially when it comes to your health, with intention.
Yep. Rather
than just going through your day doing whatever, or worse than that, doing whatever everybody else has told you that you should be doing. It's kind of funny because you were talking about this last weekend. What is one of the things, speaking of intentional versus not intentional, is what is one of the things that triggers you the most during the summer?
Oh, you're going to make me confess this?
Absolutely. Because a lot of people have no idea that that's even a thing.
Okay. So I was trying to figure it out too, because it's always the running joke that we have between each other. Have you ever been shot at? No, but I've been triggered. So what triggers me this time of year is when I see people slathering on basically sunscreen. And the worst offender are the ones that use the spray bottle. And if you're watching or listening, you're like,
the aerosol.
That's me, the aerosol. And you're literally standing up. And so I was at the pool the other day, and pretty much any way the wind was blowing, there was someone standing up, spraying this stuff, and it was blowing all over me. And I was getting triggered. And I was truly trying to ask myself, why does this get you so irritated? And I found out it really wasn't even the fact that, by the way, that stuff that they're spraying, that you're spraying on your body, that I used to put on my body years ago, is full of endocrine disruptors and cancer-causing agents. So you talking about what goes on your skin goes right into your bloodstream. And when it goes into your bloodstream, now it's just like eating or taking a vitamin, a supplement, a medication. It's going right into your system. So when you're talking about disrupting the endocrine system, you're wrecking your hormones and you're wrecking your metabolism, and you're actually causing cancer. If you look at all the ingredients in that stuff, so we're blocking the sun. By the way, skin cancer is worse now than ever before. Yet we've got more people slathering on sunscreen and inside under artificial light, yet cancer rates are through the roof. So clearly, using that stuff doesn't prevent cancer.
And a lot of people that are slathering that stuff on, and I'm looking up the ingredients right now, so many things that you can't even freaking pronounce.
No.
In phenozethanol, I can't even
disruptor.
I can't even see these things. But the reality is that when it comes to cancer or health issues, a lot of the people who are spraying this stuff on them, they have a lot of other health issues that they need to be worried about.
Yeah.
And the sunscreen or the skin cancer part is the least of their worries.
Well, there's another 100 reasons why they're going to get cancer, and you can't blame the sun for it. In fact, when you take yourself out of the sun and you don't get adequate vitamin D, you're putting yourself at high risk for cancer. So even going back to the trigger, because you're watching people put it on, I was even watching people who have darker skin put it on. Later in the day, like 3, 4, or 5 o'clock, going in the water, coming right back out, spraying it right back on again, seeing little kids spraying it all over their body, not even thinking. So the trigger was the unconscious use of the sunscreen. They were just doing it because that's what they've been told to do without even thinking about what they're putting on their body, which we call unconscious incompetence, which means you have no idea that you have
no idea.
No idea. And it's doing something without thinking about it with real intention. And so that was like, I'm thinking, man, there's so many people that are using this stuff unconsciously. And you start looking around it in life and what people are doing, a lot of things that they're doing, the things even that you and I even used to do was really out of just plain ignorance and out of unconscious incompetence.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we always say the size of, and we've heard this said many times, the size of your life is equal to the size of the questions that you ask. I think that people just aren't asking the questions like, what is this doing for my body? Or what are some of the things that I can do to be healthier and make a better decision versus putting this toxic crap all over my body?
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I think that's really important when it comes to health, is we need to be asking those type of questions and stop doing things just because somebody else told you to do that. It's not like God created the sun to be a bad thing for us.
Yeah.
When we look at the research studies that are out there, we see the people that live the closest to the equator, you know what? They have the lowest incidences of skin cancer. And if it was the sun that was causing the issue, they should have the most incidence of skin cancer.
You would think so. The highest rates of melanoma should be
And
near
it's
the
just
equator.
not there. I mean, look it up.
They're even showing like in Ecuador, which is right there along that line, they've got some of the highest testosterone rates in men. Now think about that. Why would that be? Because what does your body do when it takes vitamin D? It's literally a hormone that helps you create your sex hormones. So you're getting all this sun. We're not seeing cancer rates increase near the equator, yet we're here with some of the worst cancer rates, the lowest testosterone men in history. I think that the research was even saying where now men or boys born into America have lower levels of testosterone than the prior generation, like when we were born. And it has to do a lot of times with all these chemicals and these endocrine disruptors and these products that we just unconsciously take, eat, and put on our body without even knowing or asking a couple of questions. So that's super important.
So much craziness. And it's not just even the sunscreen. It's all of the other million things that you're doing as well. As you were talking about that, just the things that we see now is even like the hormones that are in milk, for example. And so there's no reason that people need to be drinking that dairy to begin with. But if they are, you look at even young girls are getting their periods now younger than ever before. And it happens because of all of the chemicals, all of the hormones that are in there, all the things in the water. There's so many things out there. Like I said, the least of your worries is what it is that you're putting on your skin. You know, when you're in the sun, it really is insanity. Start asking better questions. So speaking of questions,
yes,
today's segment is all about Q&A. So we had a lot of great feedback from the first 2 episodes. People ask us these questions all the time. They've hit us up. You can DM us at the Happy Healthy Guys. You can go to happyhealthycentral.com, wherever it is that you choose to go to ask us the questions, but ask us the questions. And these are the questions that we get most often regarding metabolism and or weight loss. So here's question number 1. Okay. This question that we got is, why is it that when I go on a diet, as soon as I'm off of the diet, my weight goes right back up?
Yeah. And it's a great question. This is going to be fun because who hasn't been on a diet? And the reason people go on diets is the reality is, Rob, they do work. Anytime you start cutting out certain foods, restricting calories, the body will then maybe burn more calories than it's consuming. Here's the problem, and getting back to the real answer to the question is, anytime that you use caloric restriction, which is what all diets are, they have that one thing in common. That's why they're not sustainable, is your metabolism, which really controls what you weigh, is going to now become slower and become unhealthy. And so when you put those foods back in that you were cutting out to lose the weight, that's why that weight comes back with a vengeance, because what was previously already probably not healthy, which is why you were on a diet to begin with, is now even performing worse. And so the weight comes back quicker. We call that the pound rebound phenomenon. And that's why you'll see people who become yo-yo dieters over 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And then they'll try to do a diet that they used to do before that worked for them. And they try it again. And then it doesn't even work anymore because they've shot their metabolism into the tank, essentially.
And people already know this. They already know, hey, if you restrict your calories for a long enough period of time, what are you doing to your metabolism?
Yeah, you're just wrecking it.
And everybody knows the answer to that question right there, but they continue to keep on doing it because they don't know what else to do. I was one of those people that was the victim to that, because all I ever knew growing up is my mom was always on a diet every Monday. She was on her new diet, whatever it was, like the boiled egg diet, the Snickers diet, the Hollywood juice diet,
the lean cuisine,
the lean cuisines, the freezer full of lean cuisines, you name it, Slim Fast shakes, you name it. She was doing those things, but what it all came down to was just limiting your calories. And what a lot of people don't know, the listeners probably don't even know, that I was anorexic when I was 12 years old. So I was about 210 pounds, 5'4". I didn't want to look and feel that way, not for any health reasons at all. You know, why did I want to be thin and skinny?
I think we all know the answer. Girls.
It was girls, right? At age 13. So I knew that I was getting ready to go into high school. I wanted to look different. And let's be honest, you know, a lot of people, they do want to be thinner because of their appearance, right?
Sure.
Body image issues. And so I did, and I didn't know what else to do other than what I had learned from my mom. And that was just calorie restrict. Out of no fault of her own, she was just doing what she had learned from everybody else. And so what I did is I said, okay, if a little is good, then a lot is going to be great or be better. So if I restrict a little bit of calories, why don't I just restrict all the calories? So I just stopped eating, and I would go for like an entire week without eating anything except for like a pizza pocket. I don't know if you remember those things. It'd be like,
absolutely,
that was my one meal for the week. And yeah, I lost the weight. I went from 210 pounds all the way down to 124 pounds. Probably about 3 months. People didn't even, the kids I went to school with didn't even recognize who I was when I came into my 9th year of high school. But what I had done by doing that and restricting those calories is I wrecked my metabolism, which is why I had always struggled with my weight all the way even into adulthood at up to about 38 years of age, until the point where we really started studying the science of metabolism and why that's even the case. But I was a victim of that, and I was affected by that. Many of the viewers are as well. So it's not a calories in, calories out phenomenon. We really have to dive in and look at the body on a cellular level and really look at it as not going, hey, I'm on a diet. What is the nutrition that I'm putting into my body? Because at the end of the day, what are the first 3 letters in the word diet even spell?
Die.
Exactly.
Run for your life.
That should be the first red flag. That's why that's also a bad question. So we don't ever recommend somebody going on a diet because automatically they think it's about caloric restriction.
Totally.
And it's not about that. It's about the quality of the nutrition that you're putting into the body, with the intention that food is going to be healing for the body and the cells.
Why we could take, 100 people and put them all on the keto diet, and all 100 would get a different result because it had nothing to do with them. Correct. So, which
is why that's one of the questions. So right there.
40 would lose. Hang on. I wanted to make a point though, before I lose it. It was about, and this is what the point I wanted to make was, Rob, is it's not about, like you said, calories in, calories out. It's about what is your body doing with the calories that you are consuming. And that's why everybody would get a different result based off the health of their metabolism. Yes.
So the question is this, is that I tried the keto diet, but it didn't work for me. Or another version of that same question is somebody that says, hey, I did the keto diet and it worked great the first or the second time that I did it. But then it stopped working, but you just answered the question.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of reasons why maybe the keto diet didn't work for you. If we're going to be honest, from our clinical experience, which is pretty vast at this point, and the people we've worked with and the professionals in the same field that we talk to on a daily basis, is that most people are sugar burners. They're not fat burners. And if your body can't burn fat for energy, the worst thing you could do to try to manage your weight will be to go on a high fat diet, because what we know, if you're overweight, your body stores fat, it doesn't burn fat. And if it doesn't burn fat and you put more fat in it, that's why you may get an initial loss, maybe some water weight. You may drop a few pounds, but you're going to get stuck and you're going to feel lethargic. You're going to feel sluggish. You're not going to have good energy. You're not going to feel like yourself because you're putting fats, and God, who even knows what type of fats you're putting into your body? Because at this point, they even call it the dirty keto, where you're using other fats and oils that are already in and of themselves toxic and dangerous, or they're the polyunsaturated fatty acids, the omega-6, the seed oils. But the point is, like you said, it's what's the difference is what does your body do with the food that you eat? And you should not be trying to lose weight to get healthy. Get healthy and you're going to lose the weight. That's the byproduct of a healthy metabolism, which can be looked at, which can be analyzed, and it can be improved, which is exciting.
It is exciting. So the reality there is that when we talk about the keto diet, the keto diet in and of itself, there's some great research behind it.
Absolutely.
Okay? But at the same time, if your body, like you just said, isn't fat adapted, you know what, that right there is a sign or a symptom that there could be something else going on. And that something else going on is a problem then with the metabolism. So if you've done it and then you got stuck, it's, well, you just don't have a healthy metabolism is really what it is that's saying to you. So, and you're also, like we talked about with the sunscreen at the very beginning, is if you're putting toxic crap on the outside of your body, a lot of those people doing keto will be like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to go through Chick-fil-A or whatever their fast food of choice is and just get the chicken, right? Because I can have that on the keto, but there's also chemicals and crap on that, which are endocrine disruptors, which are now signaling the neurotransmitters in your brain to take those toxins and then store that as fat. And your body's already not fat adapted. And now you're telling your body to store more fat. It does the same thing with the Diet Coke and the chemicals that are in the Diet Coke or any of the other foods. So you're really teaching your body how to store fat versus actually burn it.
And that's one of the big problems with most diets, keto included, is what is the quality of the food that you're putting into your body? Because like you just stated, a lot of these diet programs, it's prepackaged food, it's processed food. I mean, it's reconstituted food. Heck, these are things, if you threw it on the counter and came back in 5 years, it'd still be there with no mold, didn't spoil, because it's not food. So like we always say, focus on eating real food, fruits, vegetables, proteins, healthy fats. Your body knows what to do with those. And that's super, super important to any healthy lifestyle, much less if you're trying to lose weight. Because when you quit that diet program and you were pounding all those processed foods and chemicals, you taught your body to store fat because those chemicals are stored in the body fat. And your body fat, or your body won't let the fat burn because it's full of chemicals, because it would cause you to feel sick, toxic, and potentially kill you. So keep that in mind. That's why we always use the example of like commercially raised pork, which is so very toxic. Rob, do you like bacon?
Love it.
I love bacon too. And you think about it, most pigs that are fed all that crap, all that garbage, they store a lot of fat because they're really good at hiding toxins in the fatty tissue. And that's exactly what humans will do as well if your body's getting full of chemicals like from sunscreen, personal care products, things you put on your face, the toothpaste that you use, all these little chemicals, along with the processed, the fake foods, the prepackaged foods, the artificial sweeteners, the chewing the gum with the aspartame. We could keep going and going and going, but it goes back to that living life by intention, no longer unconsciously making decisions and thinking about it from a real health perspective. Remember, you don't want to lose weight to get healthy. Get healthy. You will lose the weight, and it happens effortlessly. That was hard to say. Effortlessly. I can't say it. Effortlessly. Yes. Got it. Third time's a charm. But yeah, it makes it really fun and easy once you get your body and your metabolism working for you, which is really where we're experts and what we love, because not only do we teach it, we live it, we preach it, and we abide by it. And it's been really life-changing for both of us.
Totally. So here's the next question.
Gotcha.
Next question is, I exercise like crazy. I eat healthy food. That's questionable too, because what some people say is healthy food is not healthy food. That's always a funny one to me.
It is.
Because they may be thinking, hey, you know what? I'm eating this whole wheat bread.
Yeah.
Because it's whole wheat bread. That's actually healthy for me.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about all the sugar and the shit that's in that bread that you're putting into your body, So
it raises your blood sugar quicker than table sugar.
Exactly.
A piece of wheat bread.
Exactly. So I'm eating healthy food, but my weight never goes down. Is this a genetic thing? Was I born with a bad metabolism? right? So what's happening here with this person, but it goes back to everything that we've been saying, is that metabolism isn't one thing. It's not a one size fits all thing.
No.
Right. So when you look at the cells in the body and what the cells need as far as good, healthy nutrition, because at the end of the day, that's what metabolism is. It's taking whatever that you're putting into your body and then converting that into energy that's now usable by the body. So what kind of stuff are you putting into your body? So really what's happening, you may not be eating as healthy as you think you are. And you may not be giving your body what it needs in order for your metabolism to do what it needs to do, which is why you also may be reducing all of your calories, quote, eating healthy, and you're still gaining body fat. So if your body fat percentage is too high, as far as like if you're a female and your body fat percentage is 30% and higher, if you're a male and it's 25% and higher, you are not healthy. I don't give a crap what it is that you're putting into your body based on all the research that's out there that's showing us what a high or too high body fat percentage does to your cardiovascular health, your incidence of diabetes, all kinds of chronic illnesses happening inside your body. You are not healthy.
Yeah. And you already know if you're 20, 30 pounds overweight or more, that your body is burning sugar and you store fat. And so one of the symptoms of poor metabolic function is when you don't have any energy, which is ironic because fat is a great source of energy. So if you had, let's say, 100 pounds of fat on your body, which would obviously be a lot, that person should have
350,000 extra calories to be used for energy that your body's not using because it's being stored.
Yeah, because for every 1 pound of fat to be burned, you'd have to burn 3,500 calories. So the 3,500 times the 100, that person has 3,000 or 350,000 calories of fat on their body, yet they're tired because they can't even go use the fat for energy, which is going back to being fat adapted. A healthy metabolism can go in and out of fat burning whenever it needs to without having to be on a keto diet or a carb restricted diet. It's really not true. Your body can burn fat, it can burn protein, and it can burn carbohydrate. A healthy metabolism can do all three and vacillate back and forth whenever it needs to.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I was just thinking, right now with the whole thing that's going on with gasoline and prices, can you imagine if you had somebody that was just taking all the gasoline, hoarding it, sticking it in a storage facility, and that same person was like, why can't I start my car? Because they've been putting it in the storage facility this whole entire time and never putting any in their car. That's literally what it is that you're doing with all of those calories from fat. It's usable, but your body just doesn't know how to use it.
It doesn't know how. And so that's why getting to the cause of the problem is the key. And there's no diet program out there that's going to really address or correct the metabolic imbalance. Because like we always say, and what you just were talking about earlier, all health happens at a cellular level. The cell needs oxygen. It needs nutrients, right? It needs water, the hydrogen. It's got to get those into the cell, and then it's going to excrete the toxins, get rid of the oxygen through carbon dioxide. It's going to absorb and take what it needs. And that all happens inside that cell and that powerhouse mitochondria that's sitting right in there. So that's why when we're talking about toxins and fake food, you literally inflame the cell, and those fatty layers around the cell, those bilipid membranes that let things in and out of the cell, become frazzled, frayed, and inflamed. And so now things can't get in, things can't get out, and it's starting a whole metabolic process way beyond just not able to burn calories anymore. Now you're setting yourself up for inflammation, dehydration, and chronic illness. So all chronic illness has a metabolic component to it. So this is, once again, not about losing weight. You need to get your body healthy at a cellular level, something that's sustainable that you can do to get yourself well, to get your metabolism burning correctly, so you can not only feel and look your best, but you can prevent the preventable diseases, which are the things in our country where, if we're going to be honest about this, the pharmaceutical industry is making money hand over fist and taking advantage of this obesity epidemic and the lies that they're telling us that it's genetics, you're getting older, you're unlucky, there's nothing you can do except take our medication. So they don't want you to listen to what we're saying. because they want you to keep your head in the sand, continue to do what you're doing, and act like there's nothing that can be done, because a sick person makes the system a whole lot of money. Get yourself out of the system. And that's why one of the reasons why we started this podcast is to help more of us, more of you, take charge of your health and get the hell out of the system.
Yeah. And it's a real thing. We were just having coffee, and the server that was serving us, really sweet person. And she was telling us how her father is in the pharmaceutical industry, and he works with a company that makes a drug for hemophilia. And her question to him, which was really smart, because she was only 17, 18 years old, is, Dad, why aren't you guys looking for solutions and cures for these problems rather than treating the symptoms? Why don't you come up with a cure? And what did her dad say?
Yeah. And her dad was like, well, sweetheart, that's not good for business, because they want a lifelong customer. You're going to pay them forever. And we already know the drug doesn't work because you stop taking it. The problem that you have is right back. It's not addressing the cause, and you can't poison people into health. But he even knew his job was not to help create healthy people. His job was to grow that business. And that business, Rob, that business of pharmaceuticals, they need uneducated, unconscious decision makers that aren't asking the right questions, that are doing what everybody else does, because disease fuels this pharmaceutical fire. That's a fact.
Absolutely. And thank God you have people like her that were asking the right questions. And she knew, right? So that's why we, like you said, that's why we do this, so that you are educated. You're not living your life unconsciously and incompetent. You're actually conscious and you're competent. And that's why we do what it is that we do. Last question right here, and then we'll wrap up, I love this one because of what it is that we do. And I think a lot of times people use this as an excuse, but the question was, hey, my doctor said that you can actually lose weight too fast, and I'm losing weight too fast. And so is that true, that you can lose weight too fast?
Well, even most people listening are like, that's a problem? Because how quickly do you want to get that 20 pounds off your body? Do you want to hang on to it for 6 months, or get rid of it as quickly as your body will allow? But it's really a lazy answer for a healthcare professional to put a time limit on any of that, because like we've been talking about, it's not about losing weight. If you're overweight, you're not healthy. It's about getting healthy. That way your body can take care of those extra pounds. So everybody, based off their metabolic needs, would lose weight at their own rate, not a number. So to say, hey, losing 1 to 2 pounds a week is the gold standard, the only thing that's healthy for you. Where in the heck did that number come from? It sounds like you just aren't very good at helping people turn their metabolism around. If it's going to take them 6 months at 1 to 2 pounds a week to get this weight off.
Absolutely. So at the end of the day, the reality is there's this thing called human variability, which means that everybody is different, which is why if you're really going to address these questions at a conscious level, like we're talking about, is you got to get a metabolism checkup, find out why your metabolism is slow, why it's not working the way it's supposed to. Look at yourself in a way that's specific to you, and not just listening to what everybody else is doing, because you know what? When it comes to health, everybody has an opinion about it. If you want to find that out, get sick, ask enough people what to do, and everybody has got a solution to whatever it is that your problem is, and they don't even know what is happening inside your body. Right. They have no idea what is happening with the cells inside your body. How in the world could that person actually give you a number? I have no freaking idea. So get specific with it, ask better questions, ask yourself, okay, why is it that my body is responding that way? Get some answers, test, don't guess. One of the things that we always say, and find out why your metabolism is not working the way it's supposed to.
Get to the cause of why your metabolism isn't burning the calories that it should be burning, which is an indicator that you're not healthy, which is really the more important thing, is getting yourself and your body healthy again, feeling like yourself, getting your confidence back. And that's why I love the products we've created and the programs that support this happy, healthy life. There are resources available. So once again, connect to us. Yeah. We're happy to take this on. This is what we love. This is what we do. And I can tell you this, living life with a great metabolic rate is a lot more fun because you get the wiggle room. True confession, last night, I made a very conscious decision, and you did as well, to eat pizza and have a couple of beers. But you know what? That was a conscious decision to not do it every day. But last night was pretty fun coming off 4th of July. And I didn't even gain any weight today, which is pretty exciting because that was a lot of calories. That was a lot of grain, a lot of cheese, and a lot of beer. And it's pretty cool to know that I'm able to get away with that on occasion and enjoy life, because that's really, life is about experiences and food and trying new things. You can have a better life when your body's working the way it should be.
Absolutely. So live the happy, healthy life. Tune in next week. Next week, we're going to give you some solutions, some things that you can do.
Hey, before we do that, can I make fun of you really quickly?
Yeah.
It was really fun. When you were talking about when you had entered back into high school and lost the weight, you said when I went back into my 9th year of high school.
Oh.
And I was like, I just wanted the audience to know that it didn't take you 9 years to get through high school. You made it, I believe, in 4.
I did.
Which is the pretty typical. So congratulations. You did not take 9 years to go through high school. I love you. I had to bust you on that.
That's funny.
Please don't make fun of all my mistakes, because we'll be here the rest of the afternoon. So
awesome. Well, you guys have a great day. Thanks for listening to the Happy Healthy Life podcast. We will see you guys next time.
We're out.
Thanks for listening to the Happy Healthy Life podcast. If you enjoy the show, make sure to follow them on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook at The Happy Healthy Guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review the show wherever you listen to podcasts.